about how we can, as humans, be better people overall. And in my first video, I say how it starts at an individual level, of course, and from there it can turn into a relationship with another human, in a friendship, a romantic relationship, and then from there could stem into a family, and a family becomes a set of families, which then becomes a community, a lineage, a whole empire at some point. And like today, we have a whole bunch of different nations that exist. We have different countries, so many different countries. And I think it's nice to take pride in where we are from, but not for the purpose of seeming or acting like we're better, like than any other nationality of people. I think it's natural to take pride in or just be grateful for where we come from and what we've learned from the environment that we grew up in. And again, like in my first video, I talk about how I feel like we shouldn't be so selfish with our environment. And this kind of goes along those same lines. It's like, we don't own this land. Some people own, acres here and there. But in all reality, that isn't an actual part of us. It does feel like it becomes a part of us when we're treating that land, like if we're growing plants and produce and raising animals, building a home, having a family. It does feel like that land becomes a part of us, because if we're putting energy into it, planting the seeds, watering the seeds, pruning the plants, laying down a foundation, making love, bringing life into that acreage of land, it definitely does, in a sense, become a part of us, and but it's more so we become a part of it if we're respecting it. And this is just the weird thing that I feel like has been happening for so long. It's like we want to take so much pride in where we're from. Some people do. So other people don't take pride in where they're from at all, and they want to escape it. They want to find a new place to be a part of. But overall, I feel like for this world to become a better place, again, going along with my strategy that it's easier to stop doing certain things before it is to start making a change. But And I don't really want to be calling this, I don't want to be like taking it back to this lady specifically, but it just made me realize like it would be best to just stop it's wise to stop calling people names. That's the simplest way to put it. And it's something actually I am taking even from the Diary of a CEO podcast with Brene Brown. She said, like, that's one of her gosh, how did she put it? Just one of her ways of deciphering if someone is worth her time, basically. And one of the things that she has decided is that if they're a name caller, then there's no sense talking to that person anymore because it's dehumanizing. It becomes this sort of competition for power when one person calls another person a name. It clearly just states that you think that you're better than that person, and there's really nothing good that can come after that. So however, it's just, this is a really hot topic, but to some degree I do feel like stereotypes don't happen for no, like, they don't come about for no reason. Like, there are reasons why stereotypes exist, and so I agree. Like, I feel like as people of the same community and the same, well, that's I don't even want to go there. I was gonna say, like, yeah, people of the same background and community should be more honest with each other, but especially in America, like, actually, I don't even want to make this an American thing. It's just everybody is so different. Everybody is so different that still calling out these stereotypes is just, it's just dehumanizing. It's just a way to act like you're better than someone else without a full, like, understanding. And it does suck that these scenarios where people go online and they say one wrong thing and they get berated for it, but watch your mouth. That's all I can say. Like, that actually is, again, another like good initial lesson to be learned to become a better individual as a whole, is just watch your fucking mouth. Don't call people names. It doesn't matter if someone else is calling you a name. Just be the bigger person and walk away. Because people are gonna fight a lot. Like, there's always gonna be people fighting. Something that I'm accepting. There's always going to be people who are still learning, I should say. And until everybody learns how to be kind and considerate, like, people who are more consciously aware, we have to just leave those people in the dust, honestly. Because fighting back is not going to resolve the problem. It's a lack of emotional control when you get pulled into those types of things. And I'm not innocent. I was very disturbed by this recent viral podcast, but I'm calling myself out, and I don't blame anybody for fighting back or sticking up for your own, but and it's so funny because this compilation, even in it, she says that these ladies kept using the word but. And I just said but too. So yeah, this is tough because you always think that if people dish it out, they should be able to take it too. Unfortunately, though, it usually just turns into a full-blown fight that no one really wins if it stays like a verbal fight. Like, until death do us part, but it's like we don't want to be. That's why the world is in fucking shambles and innocent people are dying, because some nations, some countries are fighting for everybody else to see their worth. It's fucking crazy. Mother Nature, Mother Earth, is her own. She is her own. No one can own her. And I agree that countries should not be stealing pieces of her from the hands of other countries. But in reality, even the people who are stealing her don't own her. It just, it's messed up. But find your little piece of her and remember that when you put good energy into her, she can surely give back. But there's a learning curve to learning how to properly respect Mother Nature herself. But every single day, another thing I saw today is that I don't know where this was in the US, but it was a different video compilation about the reality of the food in the United States and how it's basically not real food. Like, no one really knows what the fuck it is. But it's just obviously not real, to the extent where there was a video of this guy who owns like a forest of some sort or a piece of it, and he put out corn, apples, and some other fruit, I think. Just threw it on the ground, had been doing this for years, and this pile of fruit had been sitting there for 2 days, and he had a camera of and could see clearly footprints of animals walking up to it, and they used to eat this stuff in the past and now they aren't. So again, like, we have to learn how to respect Mother Nature in order for her to have the energy to give back. It's the same thing with men and women. A man needs to learn how to, well, first of all, a woman has to respect herself enough to only allow a respectful man into her life, because women at a certain age can only produce offspring if their hormones are balanced, which would require a man to be respecting her, taking care of her, making sure that she's calm enough and open enough for her to be able to receive love and create